United, they're always on, they're always in the news. And why? Well, of course they are. Because let's face it, you know, whatever we think, whatever we say, they are the most famous club in English football. They are, you know, you might not like it. You might say we're bigger. You know, Liverpool argue won more trophies, we're bigger. But as fame is concerned, they are the most famous club, you know, in the UK. They definitely are. And they're, you know, you want to call it the biggest, the second biggest. They've got a massive fan base. They're the second most successful club in the UK, in the Premier League. They're, you know, they are, I don't want to say it, but sort of jewel in the crown for English football. They've been needing a manager to take hold of the reins and take the ball by the horns since Fergie's gone. Now, Carrick has gone in there, and you know what? He's taken them from a mid-table team, which you were basically, and he has actually taken you into third place in the Champions League. Nobody expected that. Nobody expected that maybe by the end of the season, when he first came, you would be in that Champions League and fairly firmly installed by it. Yet he's lost to Leeds at home, and there's been a little wobble, and already there's people saying he's not up to it. Get rid of him. Look, I'm an Arsenal fan, and it's not for me. We've all got our own opinions. My opinion, right from day one, is that Man United, I mean, let's face it, you've had Mourinho, what a big name, didn't settle down there, with, especially with the fans. Ten Hag, who I always thought was a joke anyway. Amorim, I thought Amorim was doing a great job, but not playing the football that the fans loved. I think it would have come personally, but who am I to say? The fans know it better than anyone because they're there, their heartbeats, they're listening to everything that's going on in the club. From the outside, you read, you watch, but you don't know what's going on like the fans who are there intrinsic to the club. But who are you going to get then in the future for next season? Surely you're not just going to kick Carrick out after he's done such a wonderful job for you. And he has. But I'm already hearing the sort of, the football's not good. It's starting to deteriorate. Forget the injuries he might have had. If you don't get the fans on board as a manager, you're in trouble. If you don't get the old, you know, the gang of four, you know, D'Artagnan and the other three musketeers, i.e. Scholes and Butt and Neville and Keane on board, that's a big problem for you as a manager. And you've got to have the club backing you, the officials backing you. As a non-Man United supporter, I think you need somebody who's been through it, who understands the business. I really do. You know, a Carlo Ancelotti, and then underneath him, I've said it before, bring in a Man United head, somebody that has been there, you know, played for the club, etc., etc., to learn from him, to take over the reins, the skills. I'm not sure Carrick's the guy, but he's there. But as far as I'm concerned, you've got people outside the game, and even people that are associated with Man United have all got their own agendas, and they're all trying to either upset, you know, what's going on there, get their own people, sort of the names of their own people. You know, Roy Keane never been given the chance. But for gosh sake, fans, when you play at home, next home game, you need to make your voices heard. Let them know whether you want Carrick or not. It's as simple as that. Let the club know. If you don't, fine. But if you're behind him, and I think most of you are, you want to go up there, you want to go there with banners and cheer his name. And if you're not, I don't know what to say. Most Man United fans, I think, support the managers. They do. But you've got to start doing it now, because if you don't, he could be out at the end of the season. And if he's out, you want somebody to come in that you're going to have confidence in. Or you want him in and let the club know. And if he goes wrong next season, the club can turn around and say, well, we did what the fans want. And then you guys have got to go, okay, I don't know the answer. I'm not a Man United man and it's a fan, and it's maybe not as simple as that. But you got to let your feelings heard. Just like I'm still supporting Arteta, thick and through everything. But last home game of the season, if we're out of everything, I will be saying Arteta out. I'm sorry. As a fan, I will be saying what I think. I will support him until the end. And if we win something, support him. And if we don't, let everybody know. That's what I say. My thoughts. But it's up to Man United fans to let their feelings be heard. Football Chat Uncensored, Reno talking.